If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. Going from PayPal, I thought, well, what are some of the other problems that are likely to most affect the future of humanity? Not from the perspective, what's the best way to make money? Physics is a good framework for thinking. Boil things down to their fundamental truths and reason up from there. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. Now I am. I wouldn't stay. I have a lack of fear. In fact, I'd like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. Life is too short for long-term grudges. Don't be afraid of new arenas. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. I just want to retire before I go senile, because if I don't retire before I go senile, then I'll do more damage than good at that point. I wouldn't say I have a lack of fear. In fact, I'd like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. If something has to be designed and invented, and you have to figure out how to ensure that the value of the thing you create is greater than the cost of the input, then that is probably my core skill. I say something and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. I'm interested in things that change the world or that affect the future and wondrous new technology where you see it and you're like, wow, how did that even happen? How is that possible? It's very important to like the people you work with, otherwise, like and on your job is gonna be quite miserable. Brand is just the perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done.